Welcome to Lovin' the Time of Hydra, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 10th Anniversary podcast. Today, we are taking it back to October 6th, 2015. The Hills by the Weeknd was still the #1 song in the US. The Martian was the top movie at the domestic box office. And former Mr. Fantastic Ewan Griffith turned 42. What? But the most important thing that happened on October 6th, 2015 was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D's second episode of Season 3, Purpose in the Machine, aired on ABC at 9, 8 Central. Hi, I'm Jamie Jirak, and I'm here with my co-host, boyfriend, and level 3 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan, Tony Paletto. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Jamie. Hello, everybody who's watching and listening. Thank you so much for joining us, and we're excited to be back for this business.
Oh my God, I can't believe we're on Season 3. It's crazy. We have one of our favorite people here with us today. He's been on our Patreon multiple times this year, but hasn't been on the main pod to talk S.H.I.E.L.D. in a whole year, which feels crazy. He's the host of Comic Book Queers. You know him. You love him. Brett Manis is here.
Hi, everybody. Oh, it's so good to be here. Season 3, LFG.
Yes.
Season 3.
Yes.
Welcome back, buddy.
Thank you so much. It's so good to be back.
Brett, I feel like you're always here, but I really it was crazy to realize like you were on for Agent Carter, you were here for Age of Ultron, but the last S.H.I.E.L.D. episode you did was Season 2, Episode 2. So literally a full year.
A full year.
Yeah.
That feels
so,
right.
yeah, but I guess. But how did it feel jumping into this one? Because I assume you weren't just watching Season 2 all the way through. What was this experience like for you today?
This experience was a great reminder in the exciting time that this was for comic book fans 10 years ago, in that we started to see more and more leaning into the floppies that the show was doing. And it was just, it was geeky.
Yeah, I think I've told this story before. But we're about 3 or 4 episodes away from you stopping me and being like, "Are you caught up?" And I was like, "No, I'm behind on Season 3." And you were like, "They just released one of the best episodes of television I've ever seen," and that's what got me back in. And we were like, we were so close to that episode. Little tease. We'll talk more about that when we kick Tony out. Because we will. I want to shout out everyone in the chat. We got a pop in chat today. It makes me so happy.
What's up, everybody?
Yes. Hopefully this is the last time you see me sitting on the floor of my bedroom. We are working on a better setup. Yeah, I'm sitting on the floor. I'm always on the floor. But soon, hopefully that won't be the case. Tony and I have some plans to record together. I want to give a special shout out to everyone who came to our LA Comic-Con panel. We had a great audience. If you discovered us there and you are new to the podcast, welcome. Tony, let those newcomers know the rules.
Yeah, so thank you all. If you're new, the rules are no spoilers. If you're going to say something spoilery that pertains to anything that happens after the episode we're talking about today, just write spoiler alert in your comment. That helps protect people like me who are watching this show for the very first time, episode by episode on the 10th anniversary. Hopefully there are more people like that who join us live. And so, yeah, no spoilers, or producer Maria will stab you with a knife she made.
Scary. Yeah, she'll have made it.
They call those shivs.
Cool.
Oh, no. Maria makes knives.
She's blacksmithing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. We're ironworkers.
It is a hobby of mine. And by the end of the month, I'll have my blacksmith shop set up in our yard. I'm very excited.
Oh, you see, all these listeners and guests seems to think that, I was just kidding about Maria stabbing them, but that's your hard proof right there. She's getting a blacksmith station set up in her new place.
Incredible.
Just to make knives to stab people who spoil the show.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose of
dedication.
Of it, for sure. We're talking Purpose in the Machine today, which was written by last week's guest, DJ Doyle. If you didn't listen to that episode for some reason, I don't know why you'd be here if you haven't, but he talked a little bit about this episode after Tony left the room, because we had him there. So he was great. DJ, if you're listening, we love you, bud. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, DJ. If you're out there, wherever you may be, bless you for your contribution.
Parking at LA Comic-Con is a real bitch. So that was like having someone come to that, it's like a big deal.
Seriously.
The episode was directed by another previous guest, Kevin Tancherone. So that's exciting. All of our main players are finally back. We've got Peter McNichol returns as Guardian Professor Elliot Randolph. We've also got Spencer Treat Clark as Von Strucker's son and James Hong as May's dad. A Mulan reunion, if you will.
Shit.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Tony, I was so excited for James Hong because I know that you really like him, and you did say, "Oh shit, James Hong," when you saw his name in the credits.
I did, yeah. Well, I had a reaction to Peter McNichol first. Like, oh, Peter McNichol, and then I was like, wait, he's coming back. He's an
Yeah.
Asgardian who's been here for hundreds of years, and he's very strong, and he likes booze. I was like having like memories, and I was like, he's not new. And then James Hong, I'm just like, what he's the Alpha and the Omega. He's been working for like almost 100 years. Is James Hong still with us? He's very, very old, and I can't remember.
Believe so. Yeah, because he was just in Everything Everywhere All at Once. Yeah, he's 96. He's still alive.
Yeah, good. I'm happy to hear that because yeah, he's kind of a treasure. He's been doing
Brett.
this for a long time.
Denzel.
Everyone, take a calm breath. We're good. Brett, tell us your general thoughts about this episode, Purpose in the Machine. How do you feel about it? What were you thinking when you were rewatching it?
I really love it. There's just nuggets. Like there's just so many nuggets for things that are coming and for things that are in the comics. I think it's great to bring back characters that we love from the past. It was great to see Peter McNichol. Exciting to see an offspring of the Von Struckers, one of my favorite villainous families from the Marvel Comics. And it was just great to finally be able to call her Daisy.
Yes. Oh yeah, it's been. You have not been on the pod since then.
I have not been on the pod.
Early.
So the past pod appearances were hard for me because it's been a long time since her name was Sky, and so it really took effort for me to be like Sky.
It's amazing how many people held their tongue.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for your hard effort.
It's like the reverse problem that Coulson has throughout this episode.
Right.
Which is hilarious and makes sense, like totally relatable.
Bit.
Yeah.
Yes. It feels more like relevant now. Like we have like a lot of trans friends who have changed their names, and like for some of us it's really easy, but like he feels like the dad who's trying. Like he's no bad intention.
But
he's just
trying.
struggling.
That's all we
he's
ask.
trying.
Yes.
Exactly. Exactly. Tony, what do you feel about this episode?
I dug it. I really like the archaeology kind of subplot, going to the castle in England and all of the cool discoveries that I liked the main team portion. Ming's hanging out with her dad and Ward's being a dick, kidnapping rich boys who have evil fathers. It was good. I like this episode.
I like this one, and like every time I rewatch it, it's like never changes. Where I'm like, oh yeah, Gemma's back. Like it happens so fast. Like you'd think that they would have waited like half a season, and then we're gonna talk more about the end when we get there. But I have a lot of questions for Tony about how you felt about that. But we're gonna save it. We're gonna put a pin in it. Talk about it when we get to it. But I do really like this episode. I always think of specifically the scene where Bobby says to Coulson, like, "Sir, you're having a hard time with this." I always think of when Baby Yoda was finally given a name, Grogu, and the internet was like, I'm sorry, that's Baby Yoda.
It's Baby
We're
Yoda.
not calling that Grogu.
Sorry.
And now we've kind of come around to it, but that's the way it is. And then just Fitz's smile at the end. But again, we'll get there. But I think it's a great episode. It starts with a flashback, 1839 England. I know Tony was kind of like taking it. I could tell you were like taking it back that we had this flashback.
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck? This is an angel. What's with these Victorian clothes in our flashback?" But of course, it all played in.
Mm-hmm. We've got these like fancy pants men drawing like stones. Then somebody gets I believe the white one, and then he gets sucked into the monolith. And then we learn in all of history, no one has ever returned. And Tony went, "Oh
no!" I did. Because my girl's in there. So what are you telling me?
Brett, did you remember this flashback? It is always a little jarring to see a flashback like this in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
It is, and it's like my thought during rewatching this was, oh yeah, I love these moments where the show tried something, and then but like having seen the run of it and going back, you're like, well, this feels completely out of place from the show that I know. So it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, look at them experimenting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's interesting. Like, what are they doing? Will we find out? Who can say? And then we've got like Daisy and Mac are kind of chit-chatting, and that's when Hunter and Bobby run in and like, Fitz, he's at the thing. Poor Fitz. I mean, it's so sad, and his friends like only have so much tolerance for his behavior.
Yeah, I mean, I can't blame him. They're kind of like, Coulson's like, we just talked about this. Like the last episode ends like with them having this heart to heart, and you feel like you're getting through to them, and then Fitz goes off the deep end, and then goes off the deep end again in this episode by diving into a liquid hole, which is crazy.
Yeah, I just wrote my notes. Poor boy. Like but here's the thing. The impossible sand makes him realize it's a portal. So he didn't give up. He fought for it.
Yep.
And we learned that wherever Gemma is or was predates Earth by 1 billion years.
1 billion years.
That's
A billion.
bananas.
A billion's a lot of years, guys. It's like
I think
it's
so.
crazy.
Yeah, it must be a very advanced society.
Yeah. I don't know. I do think like this whole scene is interesting. I like that we're picking up right where the last one took off. I feel like we don't do that a lot necessarily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially this early in a season.
it's
Yeah, I
just
mean, given
another-
that. Oh, go ahead, Brett, please.
Sorry, it's just like another example of the incredibly emotional character that Fitz has become since the Fitz that we've met, who was, you would never associate them with being emotional. They were clinical. They were scientific. You know, they got there, did this stuff, and left. But since what happened at the end of season 1, this is just another example of Fitz being just an incredibly emotional character that leads with heart, which is such an expected turn for him, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just the arc that keeps growing. We named him MVP of last week, and no one is arguing with that. So Hunter's going after Ward, and then we didn't see Ward last week. We see him now. He's like driving a car with a dude on his hood while he's like lecturing about what Hydra should be, and like this could be a cool thing for a villain to do, but because Ward is doing it, it's like so lame. Do you guys agree?
Yes.
Super evil Ward is so out of pocket. Like, it's just so like, like
He's
Yeah.
such a loser.
funny. Mm-hmm.
They just, I think we'll continue talking about this. Like, this is really where they're like, they did not know what to do with him after a while.
They did
Is that right?
Also, they did
Yeah.
not know what to do with all the extras who were standing against the columns while he's driving, which is
Strange.
the weirdest thing.
Strange. Like this whole thing is really like kind of harebrained. Like I don't know what the hell this demonstration is like. Yeah, see how they didn't move because they're loyal. I'm like, the fuck are you? Okay.
Yeah.
Great point, Ward.
I think they had to add that line because I think that space was so tight they like literally couldn't move. So they wrote it in to be a weird thing.
By they,
Also-
we're talking about DJ Doyle, who we could probably tease about it if we want to later.
Yeah, I think so. I think that he knows what the Ward business is about. And why does the scene look like it's shot in the middle of Twilight? Like, why is just like this scene has a weird tint to it? Did you
I
notice
didn't
this?
detect that. No,
Is it like
Okay.
the?
but I
stark
mean,
white
I
room?
trust your Twilight eyes.
Well, it's just like got like a bluish greenish kind of tint.
Oh, they brought in
am I cor-
David Fincher as a guest director. for
Yeah.
this scene.
Yeah. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. directed by David Fincher would watch. And then his whole thing is like it's time for a leaner generation, which is so funny coming from like a rich boy. Like he,
Mhm.
like okay,
Yeah.
we all know you had privilege, but it's fine. This is where we
Oh, but
see
you forgot
Pres-
about the well, Jamie. The well was
Oh,
really dramatic.
Yeah, of
Very
course.
traumatic.
I just rewatched The Ring, and let me tell you, Ward, you had it easy in that well. Let's be honest. Coulson goes to see Professor Randolph, who's in a Norwegian prison, just because he wants to relax. He's just trying to chill. Which
Yeah,
I think
he got
that's
hammered,
really
right?
funny. Yeah, he got like extra drunk.
Mhm.
But I want to bring up the fact that Randolph says to Coulson, like, you're different. Like he points out that he's changed, and I want to just get both of your opinions on if you think that is true. Did losing his hand darken him, or is he more focused? How do we feel about current Coulson?
Well, last time it's Randolph, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Last time they met, was Coulson still doing the writing on the wall business?
I think so.
So yeah, I mean, he's cleared that hurdle. So I think that he could probably detect that there's a little less maybe anxiety and madness in him. Coulson does seem pretty confident and cool-headed during this scene. Maybe that's the distinction.
Wait, no, this was season 1. He was in season 1, not season 2.
Yeah.
He was in season 1.
Yeah. So he was not. This was like very early episode that he
Yeah.
was in it. It was like within the first 10 episodes.
Right.
So he
Well,
is.
gee, I don't know.
I think he just means he's like kind of a little more hardened.
Darker.
Maybe
yeah.
so.
I think he's more fuck it. I think he's more risk forward, you know. Like Coulson used to be pretty buttoned up, pretty by the book.
Yeah.
You know, and you can sense that he's kind of let that go a little bit.
Yes. We get Dr. Garner is back. We learn that May is playing golf in Arizona with James Hong. What a weird thing to be doing. I don't like it's funny watching her do that. You know what I mean?
It seems it was a lot to process because they were like, "Oh, May's on vacation," and I'm like, "Well, May's not on vacation. That's just what they're saying or what she said to them. May's." I just assumed out there doing like deep tissue undercover shit or something. No, she's playing golf with her old dad. And I was like, what? So, and they start to suggest as the episode goes that it was like an attempt on her father's life, suspected, and so maybe she's there to, see that through, figure that out. I don't know, but it is weird just seeing her doing recreational things in any way.
Yeah.
She feels afraid. I mean, it's like she's not coward. I don't mean coward, but she's retreated. She's just kind of, she's afraid for her father. She's afraid for what's out there. She's kind of disengaging because of the events of the past and because of Ward's betrayal. And it's just interesting to see her kind of put her tail between her legs a little bit.
A little bit.
And
like what happened in Hawaii? Like what happened with her and Andrew? Like seems like some drama went down.
Yeah, and that's the one that I'm like, that feels like a lot for May to be reacting like this because she had a bad breakup.
That's fair, but it also would be like their second breakup,
Yeah, that's true.
So who can
cuts
say?
Deeper the second time.
I also want to let you both know that the chat wants us to know that the last time we saw Randolph was actually in the well episode. That's why we forgot because we were blacking out of all memories of the well.
Repressed trauma.
Yes. So Ward is in Spain. He's looking for Spencer Treat Clark, the kid from Gladiator. Who was at Jed Whedon's show. We saw him across the room enjoying Jed Whedon's music a couple weeks ago.
That's correct.
This is kind of a silly scene. It feels very like 90s action to like crash a yacht and start punching people out. I had fun with it, Tony. I feel like you probably have thoughts about this scene.
Oh, whatever, man. I don't know. Ward's it was a decent enough action scene. I think it's funny they put rats on there to scare away all the rich hot people. And then beat up some security guards. I have a lot of thoughts about this Spencer Treat Clark character as it stands now and Ward's interest in him. But I'll hold on to those thoughts until we get there.
Okay, fair. Brett, anything to add about this yacht scene other than that hat looks terrible?
Yeah, no, I mean it is very 90s in that like you've got. I mean, the only thing missing was the Strucker kid doing coke on the back of the
network TV
from this scene. And it would have been a scene we've seen, countless times and enjoy every time.
100%. Randolph takes Coulson and them to this old castle.
Mm-hmm.
I love the part where he goes to the plane. He's cute. Yeah. And then we see the Hebrew that Fitz had found in the previous episode, calling it Maveth, meaning death by punishment, which is, interesting. And I do want to call out when Coulson says they got rid of the shield logos or on the vans, because that is a joke in Captain Marvel, which obviously took place before this. And it is like, we talk about that all the time. Why do you have your secret organization logos on all your vehicles?
Yeah, good point. It's a foolish thing to do. I'm glad they made the adjustment.
Hiding in plain
sight.
Also,
someone in the comments are correcting me that it's Maveth, but that we get Maveth later. Peter Nichols says Maveth when he says it in this episode, but Maveth is what we eventually come to stay in the future. And I'll just kind of leave it at that in terms of
sounds intriguing.
Yes, because I was surprised when he said Maveth. I was like, "What? That's not how we say it." But I don't know if that's just a difference. I don't know if he was just saying it wrong or if it's different when you're saying it in the Hebrew way versus what it means in this show. And then let's see. Andrew says Joey isn't ready. Daisy is like, "Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that." But Brett, I feel like you 10 years ago probably lost your mind when it was like Secret Warriors.
I was going nuts. So
Yeah.
I loved Secret Warriors. Secret Warriors was written by Jonathan Hickman, who would later go on to redefine the X-Men by creating the Krakoa Age in recent comics. Jonathan Hickman is my favorite modern comic book writer right now. He created the Secret Warriors team, which was a team, and I'm prepared to go through kind of who they were in the comics, if that is appropriate. But it was a team that was led by one Daisy Johnson that featured
tell us about
a number.
It. Give us a little history.
So basically, Daisy and Fury were involved in a secret attack on Latveria, on trying to topple Doctor Doom. And it was pretty dirty in that he and she was complicit, brainwashed a number of heroes into doing it in the comics. And so they did that. And then he kind of lost all his allies. And so when the secret invasion happened, the Skrulls taking over, the good version, not the TV version, the comics version. When that happened, Fury had to put together a team, but he had no allies from the Latveria thing. So he asked Daisy, I need you to put together a team from this list. This is a list of people who are basically the offspring of obscure Marvel characters, whether they be hero or villain. I need you to assemble a team of these people. She did assemble the team, and they would turn the tide in the Skrull invasion. It was a team of, Daisy is the daughter of Mr. Hyde, as we saw, Kyle MacLachlan. There was actually the son of the Absorbing Man was on it. His name was, my personal favorite, Stonewall. There was the daughter of the Griffin, this character, Yo-Yo Rodriguez, who has kind of a super speed character. There was a protege of an X-Men character called Gateway. His name was Eden Fessy, also known as Manifold. He was a teleporter. There was a guy named Druid, who was a son of an obscure Avenger named Dr. Druid. Hellfire was the grandson of the original Ghost Rider, who actually rode a horse, not a motorcycle. And then there was Phobos, who was the son of Ares, the Avenger, the god of war. Phobos was a 10-year-old god of fear. Yeah. So that was the team in the comics that would go on to win the secret invasion, fight Hydra in books that brought in characters in the comics like John Garrett, Alexander Pierce, Jasper Sitwell, Eric Koenig. Like, all of these characters would then be pulled in, I think from the show mostly and from the stuff, from the movies, into the Secret Warriors book, where they had a lot of very, S.H.I.E.L.D.-centric adventures. They were fun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was great. I love the name Gateway for a teleporter. That's just
Gateway's great.
I'm like,
he's this Aboriginal man who was when the X-Men lived in the outback, in the Australian outback. They met Gateway, and he is a mutant that basically just sits crisscross applesauce on a boot on a plateau and spins this whirligig around. And then he does these gateways open, and that's how the X-Men were able to travel all over. His protege Manifold, who was on Secret Wars, is a badass, and also I think voted one of the 50 sexiest men in comics.
oh,
Whoa!
just by Brett Manis, like Brett has
By the comic book queers. Yeah.
Yes.
I love that. Thank you for that history lesson.
Little Marvel Comics history lesson.
We love that. Amazing. If you guys, just reminder that Brett's podcast, Comic Book Queers, is all about like deep cuts, specifically X-Men related. So listen to their podcast.
We review the X-Men books every week.
Yeah.
I feel like the world would crack open if Brett and Jenna ever got in a room and had a conversation. Like, it would just be too much. Do you know Jenna, Brett? Like, y'all are too much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be an intense conversation.
It would. It'd be beautiful though. Sure. They would hug at the end of their talk.
Yeah, maybe one day we can like get them both on for something. That could be really fun. But not today. Today we're talking about Purpose in the Machine. We get May. I like the May chopping. I like anytime that it's like, oh, look at this skilled person can chop a vegetable. Is a funny kind of trope to me.
Like Long Kiss Goodnight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly like that. And then I think it's interesting that May's parents are divorced. I don't know. I think that's just like an interesting fact about her. I don't
Yeah.
know if either of you have thoughts about that, but I thought it was
She reads
interesting.
like a latchkey kid to me. You know,
Mhm,
she's
mhm.
super Gen X to me. Like
Yeah. Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
divorced parents, all of it.
Yep. I'm with that.
Oops. And we learned that she was a little ice skater as a kid and switched to martial arts. And then Hunter shows up. He wants to get May to help Ward, but she's like, no. And I like that Ward comes to May because when he joined the team in the beginning of season 2, like they did not like each other. They were really button heads. And I think
You
it's
mean
cool that
Hunter? When
now
Hunter comes to May, is that
Hunter,
what you meant?
yeah,
Yeah.
sorry,
Okay.
Hunter. I like that he goes to her because there was a time where he I don't think would have considered her as an option.
No. No, I think you would have been too scared of her because
Yeah.
she's intimidating and mean to him.
Mhm. Meanwhile, they find the machine for the portal, and then Daisy and Mac show up. It's like all happening so fast.
It is.
Like,
I like this.
yeah,
I like the way this part of the story moves a lot, and
Mhm.
I love that room full of archaic, gears and pulleys and stuff.
yeah. And then like Daisy is like getting a headache and nosebleed and passes out. That's where we have our cute name moment. But Tony, like we're gonna get the next portion where it all comes together. But I have to assume that you thought they were gonna fail.
Yeah, I did.
Mhm.
I didn't think they were going to get Simmons out of that hole. I thought, I mean, and also, yesterday or not yesterday, last week we did our episode at LA Comic Con, and we were talking a little bit about we were talking with DJ about showing Simmons in like that kind of stinger at the end of the first episode of the season, and he asked me point blank. He was like, "Do you think we showed her too soon watching this for the first time?" And I'm like, no, I think that was good. And then she's just there. Like, so like in the next episode, not only do we know she's there, she's already out. So I don't know. I feel like DJ Doyle was misleading me and deliberately.
I like that.
Yeah.
Uh so meanwhile, Ward wants this kid's money. They're torturing him, but then he kills Ward's man. He's like beats him to death. And that's when we find out, oh, Werner von Strucker. He's a von Strucker. You know me, I'll take any Ultron connection I can get. Tony, were you surprised by this reveal?
Yeah, I didn't know Strucker had offspring, so I was surprised by the name drop. I think this is really funny and weird because what does Ward wants this kid. He's like a young man, I guess, and he wants his bankroll. And then we find out at the tail end of this, maybe also wants him because he's young and can pretend to be a college student. And I'm like, why? Do you think Ward have any? Does he give a shit about the Strucker name, the legacy of the Strucker dynasty as it applies to Hydra? What's the deal there, Brett? What's the deal there? As much as you can tell me, can you tell me anything?
No.
Okay, because it seems to me like he just wants him for his money and because he's young and he's going to use him as a pawn. Other than that, I don't see why Ward needs a Strucker involved in his business at all. I'm sure I'll find out.
I think a lot of it is money, but I do want to point out, Tony, you may not have noticed that when Ward is like kind of trying to be buddy with him, he says, "Let's get some tacos," and that was kind of how John Garrett got in with Ward when he was a kid. Was
I
like,
remember
have
that
some
now.
tacos, and so
Yeah.
I don't know, like maybe I like he just wants to step into the Garrett role and like try to be a mentor, which I'm sure he'll be really fucking bad at.
He sucks so much.
I think so because that's all Ward knows. You know, Ward is just following the playbook and that's Ward. Like, I don't think Ward is really an improviser. Like,
No,
really,
he doesn't have an original thought.
Right. He needs his orders. And so he's just going through the same motions again. Okay, I'm going to be the head, which means I need to act like this, which means I need to have a protege. I need to have resources. Like, to me, it's clear when von Strucker kills the guy and Ward is like, I just needed to see if you had it in you. I'm like, no, you didn't. Like, you're making this shit up as you go. Like, you really are kind of like dog paddling. It feels like.
Yeah.
Ward was like, I meant that all along. It's like, okay.
Yeah, that's a good point too. I agree.
I want to shout out James Hung's like little pep talk, like my daughter always gets back up. Like honestly, for me, this is just like cool to get like some good James acting in here.
Yeah.
Like I like May needed a little bit of tough love, and that's coming from, her dad. And I don't know what else is there to say.
He's so typically plays, wacky characters and goofballs, in the last 20, 30 years. But sometimes, man, like James Hong can really pull one out. Like that was a really tender scene. And I remember him talking about his scene in Blade Runner where he plays the old man who grows eyeballs in the little ice room. And he was talking about, because that's an amazing performance. And he was talking about looking into the eyes of Rutger Hauer and recognizing his work and seeing them as his children, and then it breaking his heart that his children are betraying him and are going to hurt him. And like, that's all just James Hong doing work and creating character and drama that's not articulated. So pour one out for James Hong, man, because he's the shit. And then it was nice to see him do a cool thing in this.
Also, I just gotta say, it's really funny, like playing the old man in a movie that's over 40 years old. He's just always been an old man.
He's been 120.
Very, yeah. I mean, well,
Yeah.
Big Trouble in Little China also, isn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
He's like extra old in that.
Yeah, he's really old in that one. Oh, what a picture. Okay, so Daisy realizes she can use her powers to the portal. She gets the quake in, and that's when Fitz jumps in. And Tony this is what Tony said. He went, shit, fucking, and then just trailed off. Like, you were so mad at Fitz when he did that. And I'm like, I'm sorry, would you not jump through a portal for me?
I would, baby. I would. And all my friends would be really mad at me. But listen, it was so funny because I was shocked and then just totally unsurprised. Like, of course, that's what he did. Like, he brought a shotgun and blew the door open and started hitting the rock, being like, eat me. And so I'm not surprised that he just dove into the liquid pit. And nobody on that team had the right to be surprised either. Of course he did. And boy, he got her.
Yeah.
I can't believe he got her.
How'd you feel about that move, the jump in, Brett? Like,
the jump in's amazing. In there. I mean, it's amazing. Like, again, like whenever FitzSimmons acts on emotion, I'm so in. I'm so in. It's just, it's incredible that these two have become such emotional creatures compared to how we first met them at season 1. So yeah, it was a fuck yeah moment. It's hilarious when he shoots the flare, and he's like, whoa. And it's just like, but then that winds up being the thing that
the savior
saves. It's great, but it is a surprise. It is a surprise what happens after.
Yeah, I think Tony. Did you think that Fitz was going to get stuck with her and they were going to be together? I
didn't know. I was weighing it all together. I was like, I thought one of two things: either we get Fitz back and he barely missed her, or Fitz gets stuck there. I did not think they'd both come through. I really did not.
Thought he was going to get stuck.
Yeah. I remember like the first time. Yeah. Like watching it for the first time when he comes up and then like it's such a tense, beautiful moment where it's like, oh my God, he's there. But then she comes, it's just like, it really is one of my favorite moments, I think, of the series because you just don't see it coming. You do not see that successful rescue coming. And then, as I said before, the smile, the way he smiles, like he did it is just, it makes me cry. I cried. I always cry when that happens.
I heard you crying.
Yeah.
I would say those two are responsible for most of my Marvel Cinematic Universe tears.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's fair. Yeah. So the portal is destroyed. Andrew calls May to let her know that Simmons was saved. And I love Hunter in that scene because she's like so stoic. May like, oh, they found Gemma, and Hunter's like, what? That's the thing. We have to celebrate. And I love that. And that's why I kind of like Hunter and May as a team because I think she needs a little bit of that. Like, girl, take a breath. One of our best people is alive.
Yeah. She smiles slightly. And he's, and she's not bothered by his, celebrating and his him being loud and goofy. Yeah, they are an interesting pair. I also like that amidst that scene is just a bunch of tied up thugs that they've neutralized. Like that was fun.
Yeah.
Brett, I feel like you were going to say something.
Yeah, it's just May. It's so clear. Even like she's not even connected to her own joy over a moment like that. It's like she let so much happen and that she didn't clock, over the past 2 seasons that this is where the moment where I'm like, she really blames herself for everything that we have seen happen to this cast so far. She blames herself for it all. And that's why she's there. This is the moment where that was clear to me that she's like, oh, they found him. Like she's in the bell jar, and because of self-blame. She
That's
couldn't
really
live up to her own
interesting.
expectations. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Especially
think?
yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say, do you think like if given the opportunity, I feel like Coulson would be like, we succeed as a team, we lose as a team, right? And but
100%.
she can't get over her own
Yeah.
failure. So
she's a team in and of herself. I think, she's the cavalry.
Yeah.
Right.
There it is.
That's how she sees herself. Like she's the one. And she let a lot slip through her fingers.
She did. No,
Yeah.
She did for sure. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about it. Also, it's like, I imagine, that this is kind of one of the effects of watching the show in the order in which it was released. If I watched season 1 through 3 over the course of like 3 or 4 months or something, I might have felt that the weight of it a little more fresh. I would have seen the bigger picture of like what's gotten by her and mistakes that she's made and all of that. So it might have all I might have been able to like see sort of the emotional arc of it. But I like the distance I have from it. And I like that observation. That's a good point of view on her.
Agreed. We get Gemma. Speaking of shivs, Gemma wakes up scared with kind of a shiv. Like, what happened to her over there? She's messed up. Her and Fitz just trading trauma. Like one has to be traumatized at all times so far. He was got his brain damage from being the bottom of the ocean by Ward. Now she's definitely got some PTSD from being on a billion-year-old other world. But then she goes and lays on him. And Tony, this is where I have to ask, are you shipping it yet? Are you? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, at this point, yeah. I just needed it. I needed things to line up a little more, and they have, so yeah, of course I do. I'm very interested in getting, hopefully next episode, I would imagine, hearing her talk about where she was, because I think Coulson said 3 months, right?
Mm-hmm.
So was she eating? How did she eat? We saw her running in fear. Was she? Does time work? Is it like quantum realm? Was she only there for a short amount of time? Like, I've got questions, and I want her to answer them for me.
Amazing. Ooh. Can't wait. We get did you have any thoughts on that, Brett? Extra thoughts of that little scene where Gemma wakes up?
Yeah, I was excited for her change. That was the moment where you're like, oh, she's different. And I was really excited to see feral Gemma, like the kind of Gemma like that's a little survivalist and
yeah.
Just that moment right there spoke volumes about what she had been through. There were threats, clearly there were danger, clearly she was at high risk, but clearly she adapted and evolved to survive whatever the hell was going on over there. And all of that becomes clear by a simple wake up and hold a knife. And I was just so excited for what was to come.
Yeah. Ooh,
also, maybe the first time we've seen her with her hair up.
No, that can't be true.
I don't know. Figure it out, chat.
No.
No,
there's no. I'm just gonna say no.
Okay.
The chat can correct me, but I don't think that's true.
She looked different in that sense.
She's a little. Yeah, she does look different. She's a little
hardened.
It's in the eyes. Yes. Then the post-credit scene is Werner enrolls in Andrew's class, which I think answers some of your question, Tony. That it feels like for some reason Ward is interested in Andrew.
Yeah, he's interested in. I understand his plot, or I can imagine what his plot may be regarding that. I just think it's funny that he's like, I need a Von Strucker, and it's like, it doesn't seem like you need a Von Strucker. It seems like you need a young face and a lot of money. As of now, the Von Struckerness is incidental. I don't know the purpose of it being this kid, this legacy, dynasty kid. So anyway, we'll see. I know. Honestly, all last season, I was like, what is Ward really up to? I'm interested to figure it out. And then the show and the season ended, and I was like, he wasn't really doing much, was he? He was kind of like, and not Brett, he was dog paddling. Like and now I'm less engaged in whatever Ward's up to, because I know I shouldn't expect some, whole plot to come to fruition.
Yeah, fair.
Well,
I do think I'll just say I think part of it does like the Von Strucker name does carry some weight. I
I mean,
think
I think
that's
it helps if you're working with somebody who thinks they have big shoes to fill, who
Mm.
thinks they have to live up, like they
It's
have
an
to do
easy
big
person to
things.
mold.
that's a good
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Mhm.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Before we move on, is there anything either of you we'll start with Tony from this episode that we didn't really touch on that you wanted to mention?
I didn't. In that last scene, they were like not showing his face, and I was like, we don't. It's him. We don't need to do that. It's a short scene. And he like turned and did a reveal. He was like, "Let me ride on your back," and like they're like withholding his face, and I'm like,
Yeah.
guys, you don't need to. It's just show him there. It's okay. And that was a little silly. But that's all.
Brett?
Also, anyone who says like, "Give me your back to write on," I think I hate that more than anything a human could do. Like, I think
I
that
don't
is
like
the
it
most
either.
condescending, obnoxious thing. When they turn around and they write on their back. That's behavior, and I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I automatically was like, don't like Andrew.
Wow, interesting.
Because he did that.
I had no feelings about that. I thought he was being kind of charming, but maybe that's an asshole thing to do.
Yeah.
There's a scene in the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones where the volcano's happening in LA and everybody's running around panicked and scared. And he's on the phone with like Anne Heche or something. He's trying to solve this problem. And there's like all these people, like fire trucks, and there's just one woman with like a blanket, like coughing, and he's got to write something down. And he just, without even asking, just like leans on that woman and starts writing. And I'll never forget it. Just being like, Jesus, it's really rude.
That's really funny.
So I'm with you.
Wow. Share your opinions, chat. Do you think it's rude to write on someone's back? Saying it out loud, it sounds kind of rude just as a sentence. Tony, who is your episode MVP?
Oh man. I'm gonna give it to Fitz again. It's gotta be Fitzy, I think. Proud of Gemma for getting out. She looks different. She's changed, and I love James Hong and McNichol, but it's gotta be Fitz.
All right. Brett?
So the chat just beat me to it. Here's something we haven't talked about enough. It's pretty cool that Daisy is able to attune to a specific frequency using her powers. I was super geeked over that. That she, I mean, like that's some like, Professor X Danger Room stuff. It's like, no, like focus, think, tune into the. I like that she's able to hit a specific vibration, a specific frequency. I think that that's a big leap forward for Daisy Johnson, who, again, it's like Skye became a well-known Marvel Comics character. And so that's where I'm at right now. I'm like, it's her. Oh my God, it's her. It's Daisy Johnson. Like, do Daisy Johnson stuff. There's one. Like, that's where I'm at this stage, is that, I mean, it's Agent Daisy Johnson from the comics.
Yeah.
And I'm still not over it.
That's awesome.
It seems like a lot, like you both have people agreeing with you in the comments. So this week I'll take it to Instagram probably at the end of the week and have you guys vote Daisy versus Fitz. I'll just shout out. It's just cool to have James Hong in this episode. So I just want to give it to him. But I think in the poll we'll keep it down to Fitz and Daisy. So keep an eye out for that. Follow us on Instagram so you can engage in those fun things. Some a little bit of history about this episode. So the stunt team had like a day to plan Ward's entrance. And the second unit director for this episode is former guest of the show, Gary Brown. And apparently he saw this location specifically during the production of season 2 and wanted to use it because the building was going to be demolished. So he's like, can we use this? And so that's why it was like kind of last minute written into the script. And apparently the pillars were only 18 feet apart. And the stunt driver named Greg Tracy didn't have like time to practice. So like that whole thing was like really done in a quick way that makes me like nervous for everybody involved. So a little interesting bit about, I think that whole point was just Gary wanted to use that space and that's why we got that weird car moment.
It does feel like I have access to blank, must write it in the script,
Yeah.
Got that vibe.
And based on the one time we hung out with Gary, I believe that of him. He's like a joyous man. Like
he sure is.
I hope he actually I think may have directed an upcoming episode. We should maybe try to get him back. But he's a fun guy. This was funny because I already mentioned that this episode aired on Yuan's birthday, Mr. Fantastic. I don't know if you clocked it, but Alex Hyde White, who plays Lord Thornley in the beginning, played Reed Richards in Roger Corman's Fantastic Four.
Oh my God, that's awesome!
Yeah.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
Oh,
I know. A fun fact for everybody. It's a big old Reed Richards day. We're of course going to kick Tony out today because Brett and I are going to have a lot to say to each other. But Brett, in case anybody is leaving with Tony, where can the people find you? How can they follow you, listen to you?
Oh, well, check us out online. So Comic Book Queers comes out every week. Sometimes we have to skip, but every week we are on YouTube if you want to watch our faces as we record, but we're also on all audio platforms. So check us out, Comic Book Queers, if you like mutants, if you like X-Men, if you like the burgeoning DC Studios universe, which we are getting more and more fanatic about. Come on over. Come on over and talk with us. Also, if you're going to be at New York Comic Con, on Friday, if you go to the Pride Lounge at Comic-Con, I'll be hosting 2 panels. One is a debate over what the greatest season of American Horror Story is. And 2, we're going to do a tournament where we're going to pit every final girl we can think of against one another and see who the final girl could be.
Oh my God, that's so fun. Okay, Brett, can I get, because my favorite is season 3, but I feel like you're going to say 2, maybe 6, but maybe 1. It's one of those 3. I think you're going to say your favorite.
Of American Horror Story. I thought you meant S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah. No.
I was like, my favorite season of S.H.I.E.L.D. Favorite season of Horror Story? Listen, I'm a Roanoke girly. Isn't that weird?
That's 6. That was my first guess. I said
yes.
6.
Yes. I'm a big fan.
You want me to watch Roanoke because I had fallen off. Love that. I wish I was going to be there.
Yeah, it's just the most creative.
I'm also excited to see the final goal results. That's going to be cool.
Oh yeah, me too. I don't know. I'm kind of. It's probably going to be Ellen Ripley. Although, if anyone's a fan of the movie You're Next, I forget her name, Helen, I believe. She is a dark horse.
Yeah, Samara Weaving.
No, that's Ready or Not.
Oh, Ready or Not. You're Next. Yeah, she's awesome.
I have not seen Next.
Jamie Lee, though. I just feel like Jamie Lee has been just going hard and strong for so long.
Fly over to New York and debate with us. Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
I am going to miss the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel because I got locked out of reservations because I was on a work call.
I'm so sorry. That sucks. But that's a good segue to remind everyone that we have merch now. If you go to our Instagram, click on the link, and there's a link to buy merch. Sadly, we can't make the S.H.I.E.L.D. panel, but it'd be so cool to see pictures of if anyone going in our merch there. Like, that would make me so happy.
We'll share that stuff.
And then my Phase Hero co-host BD is doing a lot of cool stuff over there too. So make sure you're following Phase Hero. A lot of good stuff at New York Comic Con. I'm sad we won't be there, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for Brett. Tony, say your goodbyes and thank yous and all that business.
Stephanie, thank you. Thank you to Stephanie at Eclectic Muses on socials for doing our artwork. Thank you to Ryan Mira of Yellow Pills at Yellow Pills Music on Instagram. Thank you to our producer, Maria. Thank you, producer Maria.
You're welcome.
And thank you to kind of one of our favorites of all time, Brett, for doing this again and again.
Yeah. Great to see you. Thank you for having 100%. Me back.
Such a joy.
Yes. We love you. Tony, get the fuck out of here.
Okay, I'm leaving the room. Goodbye.
He's gone.
Wow. Yeah.
Oh my God. Let's okay, great.
Is it safe?
It's safe. But it is a problem because Tony quit smoking, so that he used to go smoke while we did this, and now he has to just hide his head under a pillow or something.
Well, it's better that he's not smoking.
Agreed. I would like to shout out Brett's husband Jeff for being Tony's cigarette quitting sponsor, which is very cute. I love that they checked each other. We love you, Jeff. Okay, so a couple things. I do feel like, so obviously we know that Andrew is Lash, and which is a big twist of the season. And I do feel like there is a little hint in this episode where they're talking about Inhumans, and then they immediately cut to Andrew.
Uh-huh.
But it was a good twist.
It is a good twist. I clocked it, and now I really haven't gone through and inspected Andrew's character through the lens of knowing that he's Lash. So it's great to be watching season 3, really diving into season 3 again, really focused on Andrew.
Yes,
and
100%.
kind of what clues they give you. Yeah.
I would like to say, sadly, I did try to get him on the show, and his reps
Ugh.
declined. But I tell that only because I know that it never got to him. Like, I know that
Yeah.
he didn't decline this podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I don't mind throwing the reps under the bus for
You got
not
to
wanting.
try. It's Blair Underwood. Come on.
Yes, exactly. And I saw him do a podcast about his Sex in the City episodes, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
well, if he's doing that, but oh well.
well.
That's okay. We have other great guests coming up. Speaking of, we're really trying to do something special for 4,722 hours,
Oh my
which
God.
is
When
the
Tony
episode. Yeah.
when Tony was like, I have a lot of questions, I literally in my head I was like, well, I've got 4,722 answers for you.
Yes,
Not yet.
I know it was hard not to make a comment, but it's also like we have like 2 or 3 episodes in between. Like
I know.
I always forget that we don't get it as soon as she
Right
comes
away.
back. Like
Yeah.
we're left waiting, which is like
but she'll
it's-
plant
ooh.
clues, and she'll act
Mhm.
weird, and we'll know
Yeah,
why.
but
and
it is
who.
like it's a top 3 episode. I mean, obviously there are some people who don't agree with that, but I think the majority of people would agree that it's a top 3 episode of the series. It's
I
just
remember being
it's
so
amazing.
invested. Yeah, I was just invested. Like I had leaned into that episode more than I'd leaned into any Shield episode prior. Yeah.
Yeah, that's obviously the one where you're like, Jamie, it's got like Buffy energy. Like you were trying to that was how you like kind of tried
Like
to get me in.
something happened. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is amazing. And then okay, so obviously we're talking about like they don't know what to do with Ward, and that's the main thing I don't like about this season is the Hive stuff. But
Yeah.
you kind of tease that because that is kind of what they do with Doom in Secret Wars, like the brainwashing
Yeah.
stuff. They just use Hive for it in this season.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically, it really is the culmination of like we have no fucking clue what to do with this character, and so here you go. But it's still fun to watch. It's a novel death scene.
Yeah. I also want to shout out how casually you threw in Yo-Yo without like making it without letting it known. Yeah, that was really good.
Do
The
you
chat
and
loved
also,
it.
and also,
yeah, the chat was all for it.
When I was going through, I was like, who is this? I should bring up who the Secret Warriors were because that's safe, and it might even be a safe way for Tony to be like, oh wait, is Hellfire also being a character? I totally forgot that one of the other Secret Warriors, JT Slade, is different. I think JT something else in the show, but
yeah,
the guy that has the chain that he flips around.
Right. Yeah. He calls himself like he has some kind of name. The guy like he's like a trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does call himself Hellfire in the show. I'm looking forward to him coming back. But yeah, so it was just great to drop some comic book knowledge on there because we will get some of those characters.
There was the beautiful. I'm going to keep talking about this because it was so funny. On our Patreon, we're going through Dollhouse, and our mutual friend Annie Watkins was on the show, and she like very casually was like, "This show should star Alan Tudyk," not knowing that he's like close to showing up as like a very similar character to what she was saying, and it's always funny when things like that happen because the chat's always like, what? Can we say what's going on? Love you, chat. You guys are so much fun, and it's always more fun to talk Shield because our chat's just bigger, and it's cool to see what you guys all have to say. Yep. Brett, anything else? Any more future spoilers, season 3 business that you want to talk about?
No. It's just the emotional grounding of this arc right now. I think is one of the best of the show. I just think the reason we love this show is because of the emotional journey it took us on. And I think this is really peak that, for me, I hate season 3 is so amazing, but it's like season 4 is like,
sure.
Nice.
Well, I even said last week, I'm like, season 3 is my least favorite season. And that's just because they're all good. Like somebody's got to be last.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's great.
I can't wait for season 4. And I also I just can't believe we're already on season 3. Like this was just like it's gonna be 2030 before we know it. And that's crazy.
Yeah. One other thing Brett, I will say, this does bring up kind of like trauma in that this is when Marvel was trying to replace the X-Men with the Inhumans in the comics, and so reliving this era is kind of difficult for me as well, especially with all the Inhuman stuff. I'm like,
there's that feeling.
I hated this at the time, but anyway.
We're definitely going to do Inhumans on the Patreon next year because I've never seen it. So that's going to be interesting. When I watched Multiverse of Madness, I was like, who the fuck is that guy? What's that guy from? So we'll get there. We have so much business. Brett, it's always a pleasure. I
Always
just
a
love
pleasure. Thank you so
being
much.
in your space. Have so much fun at New York Comic
Same.
Con. I can't wait to
I
hear
will.
all about it.
Oh
Yes.
my god. So
Um,
excited.
next week, we are back next week at a normal time, I believe. The two weekends after that, we are going to be a little off course in terms of time because we are going to a wedding and then we are going to Vegas to celebrate our friend's birthday. So keep it. So you have to follow us, people, at LitoPod, Instagram, Blue Sky Threads. We don't use Twitter anymore, so go to those places, follow us, and have a great rest of your weekend.